Sir Jim arrived in Manchester last night and visits the club today to have discussions to lay the plan down with Brailsford. But will Ineos's investment change the January window? Will it change the trajectory of the plans? Because we know that United are looking at loan deals. However, there's suggestion that United could spend up to 105 million without sort of being restricted by FFP, which is United's big excuse not to spend. But Man United have always gone with this, we need to sell to buy, and talking of selling, Martial could be on the way out. Dan Gore rumoured with an exit, but United trying to not let that happen. Manchester United, according to reports in Italy, very close to closing in on a €40 million deal, which I don't think is true, but we're going to get into that. We've got updates on Todibo and more. So please do hit that like button, and of course subscribe down below if you're new. So it was said by the Muppeteers last night that Sir Jim has arrived in Manchester and will visit the club tomorrow, which is today. It's expected this will be Sir Jim's first day with Brailsford, meeting people, visiting the club, and because it's the start of the January transfer window, sort of laying down plans and ideas. We know that United have made contact for a few players according to The Athletic, and we're going to get into that article in a second, and I'm sure that there will be busy meetings going on. It was actually said two different things on the whole sort of situation at United, investment, money, all of this kind of stuff. The first thing was said by the Times, and that was said that the Ineos investment has not only eased United's worries, but also increased their spending power. According to financial fair play rules, clubs can incur 15 million loss over 3 years, but the owner's capital injection of 90 million means that United can now spend up to 105 million. I'm not saying that we can spend 105 million in this window, but we've got a bit more leniency to spend money. However, the Times said this is more likely to happen in the summer rather than January, with the Athletic saying that there may be one or two loans at United this month. The situation is not set to change, even with the confirmation of Sir Jim Ratcliffe. The Athletic are suggesting that Man United are sort of looking at the January window as sell to buy, more loan deals with a big plan for the summer window. And one of the reasons behind that is being reported because Man United want people like Paul Mitchell and Dan Ashworth and the actual structure of new people in place before they actually go into the window, so they don't waste any more money. It was also said in more detail by Laurie Whitwell that Manchester United are restricted to one or two loans in January due to spending regulations, as the club awaits the ratification of the Ineos investment as well. So they're saying because the Ineos deal hasn't been ratified, that 105 limit for FFP is not in place. So that's why it's looking more at loan deals. But it was said that United, and it was said by Romano, that United would like a centre-back and a striker and would ideally like these targets, but it would depend on sales, which we're going to get into. And Laurie Whitwell actually named Choupo-Moting, Werner and Girassi as options. And it said that Manchester United are looking at Timo Werner. Manchester United have made contact about Timo Werner. It's reports coming out from The Athletic. So right now, Timo Werner's one to keep an eye on. Laurie Whitwell did say we're also looking at Thomas Müller as well. But it said that Timo Werner is the most likely one to keep an eye on. So I would keep an eye on that. As I've said with Timo Werner to United, I don't want it to happen. I don't think he's good enough. I wouldn't say no to a 6-month loan deal just to get us through to the end of the season, but I don't want us buying anyone. I don't want us spending like 10 million on Werner when he's not good enough. It's like, I want anyone United brings in from now on to be players that are going to be here in 5 years, like a Todibo in January. I get that we'll need another striker to help out Højlund, so we don't have to play Rashford striker, but make it a 6-month loan deal or someone that's going to be here in 5 years like Marcus Leonardo, because I know there's not many options, but can we get someone that's actually in the plan rather than doing these constant Werner Igalo deals? But I don't mind a deal if it's a loan deal, but I don't want us spending like 10 million on someone, and Werner's quoted at 10 million. It was said in terms of loan deals that United are watching Müller, and they've also asked about Choupo-Moting, as mentioned earlier, and that United have made contact about the potential cost of Werner and are keeping an eye on the market for a kind of ready-made striker. I get that Werner, I guess, is kind of a ready-made striker, but like, he went to the Premier League, he wasn't good enough. He's gone back to RB Leipzig's not been good enough. I just think, yeah, he can play across the front for a year. I think a couple of years ago I would have loved Werner, and yes, I think he'd suit Ten Hag transition ball, but ultimately I just don't think he's good enough. And I just feel like, would Man City do this deal? Would Liverpool do this deal? Would Arsenal do this deal? No. It's just United doing those kind of deals again, which I find frustrating. Now I want to get into this report. There's actually 4 different Italian sources all coming out and saying that United are closing in on the acquisition of Atalanta centre-back Scalvani in a £44 million deal. There is multiple sources in Italy coming out saying that Man United are really close to signing Scalvani for a 40 million deal. Man United having talks with Scalvani, a 40 million deal in January is likely. And I just think that it's not true. I wanted to cover it because there's like 4 different Italian sources and French sources coming out about this, but we know what Italian media are like. They told us we signed Amrabat about 3 months before we did. They tell us you're signing Kim Min-jae and we didn't. They told us we're signing Locatelli a few years ago. I know who United's centre-back targets are, and it's not Scalvani. And Scalvani's more of a midfielder. He wouldn't fit in terms of the way we're playing. He wouldn't solve our problems. It would make no sense. I can't imagine Ineos approving this deal. I think it's Italian media looking for clicks. There's multiple sources in Italy saying that we're closing in on a £40 million deal for this centre-back, a £40 million transfer. But I don't know, one, when Man United are going to get £40 million for, and two, our priority would be Todibo if we had the £40 million over this guy, from what I'm aware of, because Fabrizio Romano's named Todibo. Maybe I'll keep an eye on this because multiple reports are saying it, and there was some truth in the Kim Min-jae and Amrabat rumours, which came out for Italian media first. So maybe I'll keep an eye on it, but I just can't see this happening. I can't imagine this happening. I think it's sort of people sort of using United's name for clicks and stuff, but I wouldn't completely rule it out. We'll see if Romano or someone more reliable gets on it, but I don't think we're looking at Scalvani. I don't think we're going to spend 40 million in January. I think it's going to be loan deals, and I think if we make some sales, we might invest in Todibo, who we're going to talk about next. It was said by OKAZ that breaking Anthony Martial was in talks with 2 Saudi Pro League clubs about January transfer. There would be no transfer fee. No transfer fee, classic. I mean, why are we like the only club that could not get a transfer fee from anyone? Surely we could get like 10 million from Saudi, or like 7 million. Surely Saudi would give us like 7 million. But it said that Anthony Martial's in talks with 2 clubs from Saudi Arabia. I mean, getting him off the wage bill would would save us a good 5 million between now and the end of the season. And if we could get 5 million for him, that would be 10 million. Which would give us a bit of leeway in terms of investment. But there is a feeling Martial will go. He's free to open and talk to other clubs because his contract expires in the summer. Martial's missed the last month of United games for a mystery illness, which I think is just Ten Hag saying, go in January, adios. You're not at the club anymore, is sort of what I'm sensing. Now, a player that could be at the club and a player that Man United tried to get in summer, and I think if United have the funds, will go for, is Todibo. It was said that Nice are open to let Todibo go in January with a price tag of around 50 million euros, which is £40 million. Chelsea have asked for info, but nothing advanced. Chelsea got to comply with FFP rules. Spurs were in for him, but Spurs are now pursuing other targets, and that United now remain in pole position for the French centre-back. It's been reported that United are the top contenders to sign Todibo, who would be for sale in the January window. But I think, as said, with the Athletic mentioning loan deals most likely, I think the only chance of getting Todibo in is if we actually sell players or we get an offer for Lindelof or someone, because I can't see United spending money much more than loan deals unless there's like some emergency. I think United are very much ruling out this January window yet again. Now, I do want to talk about the academy, a few academy deals and reports going about. We did a video the other day saying United cannot sell Dangor if if Dortmund are going in. If Dortmund are going in for your youth player, then don't sell him. Rooney's also just been sacked from Birmingham City, and other news coming out, which was a poor decision. Birmingham were playing well, so I'm not sure why they brought Rooney in when they were doing well, but that's off topic. It was said that United are going to reject bids for young midfielder Dangor in the January window, and that United will consider loaning Gore out this month, with Preston North End interested. Alvaro Fernandez had a very successful loan at Preston North End. We've got quite a good relationship there. It's really important to find Dangor the right loan where he's going to get a lot of minutes and he's going to be playing like football that's going to suit the style that he plays, because I think we found Charlie McNeil the wrong loan. We initially found Ahmed the wrong loan, and then we found Ahmed the right loan. But it's said that United will not be interested in selling Gore on a permanent, which is good because I think he's one of our most talented players in the academy and he could go out on loan. And talking of another player that could go out on loan, United have received inquiries from League One and 2 clubs about Joe Hugo online. He's expected to sign a new contract and then be loaned out. So hopefully we can find Hugo the right loan as well, because McNeil's loan wasn't very good. And it has been said that Charlie McNeil will be recalled from his season-long loan at League Two Stevenage, where he only started 3 times. Man United are planning for McNeil to stay with the club for the remainder of the season, which will be good. I think McNeil's a good player. I think it's just another example of United being poor and sort of finding the wrong loan deals. There's actually a leak to Manchester United away kit coming out ahead of next season already and all of that, but we will be discussing that in tonight's live stream. So make sure you're subscribed for all of that. We've got some more news and information to discuss and chat in tonight's live stream and discuss all of this as well. I'll let you know if more updates come out throughout the day. Thank you for watching. Bye.